Hey, welcome to The Forge. We're back for another week of learning, growing, getting better, helping you to take your next step of leadership, of influence. And today we're talking about a topic that really is at the core of who we are at Foreign Defense, and that's the DISC assessment that every employee takes. So, Ralph, as we jump into another week of The Forge, what do you think is so important about the DISC assessment?
Okay. DISC, I've in the past used Myers-Briggs at the bank. DISC was new to me when I came to Forney. It was already part of it's granular in our company. When I got there, it's the first thing I did was being Rex's brother, take the DISC. I was like, why do I'm gonna be a real estate guy. I don't need to take the DISC. No, everybody takes the DISC. So it was already there. So it was new, and I've really enjoyed the assessment and how useful it can be, and how you've helped us to use that, and JB's commitment to it. Rex and JB's commitment to it from the get-go has been obvious to me. I was talking to Jeff Brown about the DISC and telling him we were going to do this session, and I said, Jeff, how are we, in your words, how are we using it now, and how do you want it to be used going forward with the Forge and with our culture? And he said it's a great inventory of strengths and weaknesses of people.
Sure.
It's assists us in hiring the best candidate for the positions. We use it as part of the personal clarity statement. As far as the interview process, we kind of know to make sure that the right people are in the right seat on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a bus, make sure they're in the right seat. That's also used for advancing people. We put them in a spot. Rex talked about it during his session on the company, his vision for the company. We've made the mistake of taking people that were excelling in a certain position and putting them in another position, and they didn't do well. They stumbled.
Yeah.
And we look back on it. Did we go to their DISC profile and really look at it? Not as much as we probably should have. Use it as a tool for coaching, mentoring, and growing and motivating our people, spiritually, personally, and professionally. And then Jeff said something in the end that really made sense to me. We want it to be the first default in areas of conflict. It's the first thing you go to.
Yeah, because it's how we connect. It's how we communicate. It's how we understand why do we have this conflict. It may be a personality thing. It's not really you versus me. It's how we see the world and how we communicate in the world and all these things.
It's the reason it should be the first thing is not only are you trying to communicate a message, but what is the best way to communicate to Nick your message, right? Or Ralph. Everybody has their own style for receiving information.
That's right.
And feedback. And if you go to the DISC, it's gonna show you this. It tells you specifically this is areas to stay away from when confronting Ralph with conflict.
That's right.
Or a touchy area. This is a better approach with Ralph.
Yeah. And I think that's really important. It is about helping the right person get in the right seat. We want to put people to work in their strengths. We don't want you to work outside of your strengths, which makes it even more difficult. We want to know how to communicate with you, how to encourage you, how to be able to speak life into you. And then when conflict arises, and we talked about that last week, that we can have trust and we can have conflict. And what healthy conflicts looks like is making sure that we're speaking everyone's language.
Because God made every one of us uniquely designed in his image. And the DISC profile helps highlight some of those
And so
things.
let me give you an example of why this is so important, okay? I'm going to make a lot of people mad. I'm about to say something, and as they watch
Here we go.
I'm going to make people mad, okay? Michael Jordan
Just make the right people
No,
mad,
I'm going to make everybody. I'm going to make everybody mad, okay? Michael Jordan is not the GOAT. Michael Jordan's not the GOAT. And people
Who's the GOAT, Nick?
And people say, Nick, if you say LeBron, we are done, okay? We're not even friends anymore. Let me tell you why Jordan is not the GOAT. He batted 180. And you go, what are you talking about? In baseball, he only batted 180 during all his time in baseball, okay? But if you put the right person in the wrong position and you use the wrong stats, it makes him look really bad.
He wasn't that great.
Not at baseball.
At MLB,
but I want to be very clear. When it comes, Jordan is the GOAT when it comes to basketball. Okay? So don't get too mad at me. And that's what it's all about, is making sure we put the right person in the right position to be able to use their strengths. He needs to be dunking, not trying to hit a fastball.
Yes.
And so when you put the right people, their best comes out. All right, so let's walk through this and what this looks like. And I think this is the important part, that DISC is about connecting to people. You talked about Myers-Briggs, 16 personalities, Enneagram, all these different personalities. The reason I like DISC the most is because we're going to walk you through this in the next 15, 20 minutes, and you're going to have a really good grasp on how to use it, what it looks like, and how you can begin applying it. That's in your job, in your position, in your marriage. Just a little clue. This is great information for your marriage. And
I'm going to have
your-
my future son-in-law. I'm going to have you send it to him.
and
I-
that's right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the only
So-
requirement I'm going to have is a future father-in-law.
Because now you know how to connect with them. And that's what this was all about.
So you train in disc, right? I haven't
right.
been through your training, but a few people, I guess, at Forney have
Yep.
been through your training. Walk us through the different profiles of disc, and we'll start with the D.
Yeah.
Right? And
We're going to talk about the D and these 4 personalities of DISC. And there's combos. It's not just one. You may be a DI or a DC or a combination of different. But we need to understand at the heart of what these 4 personalities are. The D is 3% of people. They're about control. They're decisive. They are about taking something from here and making it happen. And only 3% of people are Ds.
that number shocks me because at Forney, about 80% of them are Ds.
They may come across as Ds, but actually, when you start looking at the stats, we have a lot of
seems like
Cs.
you've heard me say that before. Man, we got a lot of Ds around here.
That's also a healthy culture that everybody's going, no, let's take control. Let's make this happen. So only 3%, that they are alphas, they are CEOs, they really drive the ship.
Yeah.
And really only 3% of people are true Ds. And the thing that we need to know about Ds is they are driven by authority. They take control. If we're going to lunch today, it doesn't matter whose vehicle we're taking, the D is driving. You have a Suburban, we all fit in your Suburban, the D's driving whether you
Or they won't let you drive their vehicle.
Oh, absolutely not. No way. It's not going to happen. They are
JB.
They are going to keep their hands on the wheel because they like being in control. And I think the most important part of this is they treasure loyalty. And with that, that means that their greatest fear is being taken advantage of. Their greatest fear is being stabbed in the back because they really do believe they are the tip of the spear who's fighting for everyone on their team to move forward. They feel like they're doing the difficult things that no one else wants to do. And so if I'm fighting for you, then why would you stab me in the back and not be loyal to me? And so when we look at these, we're going to look at their greatest fear, and it's deep within them. It's not just, this kind of makes me nervous or this bothers me. Disloyalty to the D, it is both heartbreaking and they will cut you out of their life. They will say, you are done. You are dead to me. All right.
I told JB this morning, a little funny. I said, hey, at Forney, every time I go into the room of a D, I feel like that they're doing some major surgery, like
Sure.
a brain surgery or heart surgery, and I'm coming in with balloons and cake. And
We'll
it's
talk
like,
about the difference in your personality too, right?
it's like, man, it's just because that's the way it's, what are we doing? Let's get to the end. Just a style difference. Because
and being a lot of our branch managers are CDs, and we're going to talk about what that means and why they drive. They're detail oriented. They're looking at the details. That's the C that we're going to get to, but they're also driving really fast and they want to make it happen.
yeah.
So when you look at the D, not only do they have these strengths, but they also have some weaknesses. They are bold and confident. They're decisive. They're productive. They make things happen. They are strong-willed. You tell a D, you can't do this, and they're going to say, hold my beer. Watch this. All right. They're going to prove to you they are the one that can make it happen. And that's why this is so important to understand that in emergencies, in motivation, they make things happen and they're going to achieve and they're going to win. And sometimes the D wins at all costs. And then sometimes that means you have to lose. And they don't realize it's a blind spot for them.
Yeah.
And so that's part of their weakness. Their obstacles is they can appear cold, argumentative, and considerate. They can appear domineering, and they run people over, and they don't know it.
When they come across like they don't want any kind of dissent in their
Sure.
agenda or their argument. It doesn't take them long to get consensus with another D.
That's
on
right.
on a vision. If you come in and try to visit with them about something or your concern or whatever, it really can come across you're a wet blanket. You
That's
need
right.
to
Yeah.
get on board.
Yeah. They want to move. They want to move fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of times D's on all these, there's this range of healthy and unhealthy.
Yeah.
That an unhealthy D is just a domineering jackwagon and just is a bully, right? And it's just mean. A healthy D goes I'm going to take control. And it's a little like what Rex talked about a couple weeks ago. He said, a great leader is humble enough to surround himself with great people.
Humility. Yep.
Yeah. And so he's going to take charge. It's going to be his decision. But he's also going to surround himself with wise people.
Yeah. And a great leader, a D, is also transparent along with humility.
Sure.
And they build trust, and they build trust with their team members by being transparent and by being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And admitting when they're wrong.
Sure.
When you do those things as a D, and then you come back with the heavy, it's okay.
That's right. And
We're
they
okay.
really believe that. They believe that tough love is a good thing.
Yeah.
One of the things it says on the screen here is that Ds do not apologize or can appear cold. And I think a D will apologize.
Yeah.
If they realize they're wrong.
Ours do.
This time, Ds are just never wrong. So we
takes them
don't
a
need
while
to
to get
apologize.
It takes them a while to get to.
Yeah. But if a D actually hurts someone and they say, hey, man, you didn't handle that well, I believe that a D that wants to be better will apologize and seek to make it right. A lot of times they did it out of a blind spot, not out of malicious intent.
Yeah.
All right,
Good
you can keep
stuff.
going?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I.
Let's talk about the I. So this picture
What
really
is it?
represents the I. They are the party people, okay?
Oh, yeah.
If you love this kind of scene, you love the idea of being surrounded with all kinds of people and being in the life of the party, there's a good chance you are an I.
So if you go back to that picture, you can imagine walking into a brain surgery or a heart surgery doing that. That's the reception that you get sometimes from a D when
Yeah,
bring
so an
that
I
in
walks
the
in the room and they're wanting to have a party, and the D's like, hey, I'm working here. What the heck is your problem? I'm getting stuff done.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
with that, we'll talk about at the end. Here's some tips on how to communicate with each one of these personality types.
Okay.
So I's, man, they are big personalities. 11% of people, they are spontaneous. They are storytellers. They are connectors. They can appear narcissistic at times
Yeah.
because they are the life of the party. They like the spotlight. You're wearing a dark shirt. I'm wearing a dark shirt. An I walks in with a bright yellow shirt and says, look at me.
I intentionally wore dark today.
Oh, okay. But they say, look at me.
Yeah.
And sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, just like a D can. But they are really great connectors. They are great salespeople. The best salespeople are I's because they are relation oriented. They are in control of their emotions. They are animated. They make everybody feel like this is the place I want to be. If you have a meeting or if you have a party and there are no I's there, it's just a meeting. It's not a party. They are the ones that really are the life of the party, and they treasure great experiences and being around other people.
That one, the last one, great treasure. They treasure great experiences with others. I think that sums it up, right?
Yeah.
They really do. The journey, the experience that's going on in the moment. They thrive on that.
Sure. And when they walk in the D walks in the room and goes, they don't know it yet, but I'm the boss. Okay, whether the boss or not. The I walks in the room and goes, how do I get everybody to look at me and see how great I am?
Yeah. Yeah. I talked about great influencers. I want to use a term, instead of being great leaders, we want to be great influencers.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be. That's where we want to train the people to help people, coach people to be great influencers. I's naturally have that connection
Natural,
with people,
yeah.
but it's got to have some substance.
Sure. Yeah.
You take a little bit of the D mentality when you have that kind of, people put that kind of trust in you.
Yeah, and a lot of times the I can be, they can be always going fast, but never really going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so their greatest fear, though, is rejection and loss of approval.
Yeah.
And a D, because you don't like me? Oh,
Yeah.
walk that way. You can go somewhere else. But the I, their rejection is deep within them.
Oh,
that
yeah.
they need not just people to approve them, but for people to see that they are valuable and they want people's approval.
I'm an I.
Yep.
SI. But I would say, for me personally, I can speak on this, is that I don't mind conflict. I don't like it. I don't like when things aren't going, when it's not a party, when it's not fun, or when there's hard conversations happen. As long as the other personality profiles, the D's, as long as they show respect to my value, my thoughts,
That's right.
and not head pat me,
Yeah.
then I can be in that. But if it gets personal, or if it gets confrontational, unhealthy confrontational type, more ego driven, that can really send an I
Sure.
in a bad spot.
And where you go to is, can I actually trust this person? Because that conflict feels like, man, is there trust here or is there not?
Yeah.
That's what we talked about last
Yeah.
week. So the I has some amazing strength. They're persuasive, they're generous, they're charismatic, they're talkative, fun, optimistic. They really do inspire people. They inspire people to go do great things. And with that comes some weaknesses. What are those things? That they're optimistic. They always see the best opportunity. Comes with some struggles. Sometimes, not always, but a
Undisciplined.
lot of times eyes can appear undisciplined, undependable, disorganized, distracted by things. A lot of times they can appear narcissistic and just, hey, I need the spotlight on me. The other thing about the I is they will overcommit. They will say yes to everybody so that everyone loves them. And where there's a difference in the S.
Yeah.
The I will overcommit because they want everybody to love them
Yeah.
and for them to have that approval of everybody else.
Interesting comparison, because sometimes S and I bleed together, but that's distinguishable between the two.
That's right. And so when you look at the 4 boxes and the D's up in the top left and I's in top right, the top 2 boxes, they like to go fast. D's and I's, they like to go fast. They like to make things happen. Slow is always bad for them.
All right. So S.
All right, let's talk about the S. The S is about these treasured, not experiences, but friendships.
Yep.
They are team oriented. They're all about follow through. They're loyal and all about acceptance. What do you see as the biggest change for this one?
69%.
69% of people are
That's
S's.
yeah. That number, I don't know why. I can't really verbalize why it surprised me that it's that high, but wow, that's a big number.
So
When D's are 3.
3. So if you
Yeah.
are a D, an I, or a C, and that's actually what Rex is a DIC. There's a whole nother joke in there. We'll just let that be for right now. You need to
Come on, Nick.
You need to understand that majority of the people that you're going to encounter are S's. And so you're going, I'm not an S. I don't need to listen to this right now. For you to really listen to this because this is about connecting and communicating. All
Yeah.
right. So the S is they are steady, loyal, hardworking. They are good listeners. They are easy. They're compassionate. They're easygoing. They are all about peaceful relationships. So that conflict, they avoid conflict at all costs.
Yeah.
And that's their greatest fear is
Yeah.
a loss of security or confrontation. They hate confrontation because ultimately they really want to be people pleasers.
I'm SI.
Yep.
And I would say that for many years of my life, whether my marriage or in corporate setting, any church committees, I'm exactly that. I would avoid conflict at all costs because I'm a heavy S and
Yeah.
I'm an I. So yeah, and just learn to appreciate the value of healthy conflict.
Sure.
For an S is valuable.
Because you can trust.
Yeah.
And we're on the same team. We have the same goals. We're trying to get to the same results. Yeah. So the S's have some amazing strengths. They are hardworking, loyal, great teammates. S's are great friends. They are great friends and they are able to live peaceful lives. They want to know what to expect. They want predictable environments. They want safe environments. They want to know this is the job. I can go do my job. The I says, hey, look at me. The S walks in the room and says, what needs to be done? I don't need to be seen. I'll just get my job done.
Yeah.
And there's a difference there.
Yeah.
And they both have their value. Doesn't mean one's less than the other. But 69% of people really operate from this position.
Would you say that an S is more comfortable with the limelight being on someone else and them
Oh.
in the background, really close
They
influence
want-
in the
they want
influence
the
in the
light.
situation?
Yeah, they want the influence on anybody else.
That's right. Yeah.
The best example of the S that I can give you an example of is the meme of Homer Simpson when he just fades into the bushes and he just disappears. That's the S.
You know what's funny? I've sent that to Lacey from me. That's how I respond a lot of times to when she sends me something that's Lacey's she's a C.
Yeah.
Anyway, she'll send me something and I'll be like, I'll send that to her.
Just
Both of them. I've
wait.
sent it multiple times.
They don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't need the attention. They just want to know, here's what my job is. I'll get my job done. And I want to be respected for that. Now, the S's, because they are such great friends, they also know all the gossip of all the alphas because everybody trusts them to come bring the crap to them. Now, because They are great friends and they are great listeners. People bring all the crap to them. They know everybody's business, but it also creates the obstacle of being cynical, of being a little calloused at times. They can almost
Yeah.
not know what to do and become sarcastic because I know all y'all's crap. And so I'm going, you're saying that, I don't believe you. You're saying that, I don't believe you. And they keep it all to themselves because they won't confront anybody.
Yeah. The sarcastic of this personality profile, I can tell you from experience, will send a D in the wrong spot. Because, dude, I'm trying to deliver a message here. I know I'm showing passion. I'm crossing the line on my communication of how passionate I am about this, and you want to be sarcastic right in the middle of it. That's for me, that's not worked out well for me. I try to watch that.
And a big part of that sarcasm comes from this feels confrontational. So let me see if I can make a joke and lighten the mood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a self-defense mechanism.
Works sometimes.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? And so
Yeah.
they will shut down conversation. The I walks in the room and says, hey, look at me. The S says, I don't need anybody to look at me. I'll just get my job done. They are such great teammates because they get stuff done. And so for everybody else, you need to recognize the hard work that an S does and be able to show value and appreciation to them.
Yeah. And they love to gossip about the D's.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. The other thing about the obstacle for the S is they can be slow to start. They can run at a slower pace and they can become so fearful of making a decision that they make no decision at all.
Yeah. Spot on.
All right.
All right. C.
Here's the C's. They have everything color coded. Everything is on a graph. They have 7 charts on the 7 different charts that they're going to create. They have all their planner and everything is detailed. They love information and they love their spreadsheets. 17% of people. So if our D is our CEO and our I is our sales team, S's are the people who are getting things done. C would be your CFO, analytical, data-driven. They need more information. They'll make a better decision. They're all about accuracy.
Noe and Lacey.
Absolutely.
On the leadership team.
Yeah. And so even several of our branch managers are high C's.
Oh, Hunter is
Yep.
a high C. Yeah.
Yep. He's DC, I think.
Yeah.
Mike's a high C.
Yeah.
They think in this very logical, everything is black and white. And they can see things that not everybody can see because they ask more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all about conscious, accurate, detail-oriented. They treasure perfection.
Yeah.
Their greatest fear is criticism. Why do you think their greatest fear is criticism? And this is something deep within them.
Because they want to be accurate. And if they're not accurate, if you find a technical mistake in one of their number calculations, it really sends them. It's like, wait a minute, that can't happen.
That's right.
How'd that happen?
Because you're not questioning their work. You're questioning them. The spreadsheet's not wrong. I was wrong.
I messed up. Yeah.
And I went through this spreadsheet 17 times and I got something wrong. Therefore, anything that I get wrong, and if I'm not perfect in it, feels like a deep cut to me personally.
Yeah. So when going back to the S, right? When she'll call me about something that she's got detail. What's going on here? Because what you said doesn't add up, doesn't make sense. I just go, because I know she's right 99% of the time in what she's got calculated or what she's seeing.
And I think that's important for you to know. I think it's important for her to know and other people that your natural go-to is to avoid any questioning because it feels confrontational. And it's not confrontational to her. She's going, hey, I got these 7 questions and you need to answer these 7 questions. It's just black and white. It's very easy. Right?
They use phrases like, this makes no sense to me. This is not adding up for me. It's like, oh, yeah. But that's just they're saying what they mean. This makes no sense to them. This is not adding up for them. Help them help them add it up. Help them make it make sense.
Yeah. And the C goes 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, 2, 2A, 2B, 2C. The I goes 1, 3, 7, 14.
Yeah.
And you're going, wait, that didn't make any sense. How'd you get there? And so they're going, you're speaking a language I don't even understand. All right. So they have great strengths. Analytical. They're planners. They're data-driven. They gather all the facts. They are deep thinkers. They are very well organized. They plan well. They carry out things to perfection, do it correctly. The other thing I'll just let everybody else know is C's are the most genius prone.
Intellectually.
Yeah,
I mean,
intellectually.
on the chart, right?
Because they see so many details. And so they can unpack things at a deeper
and
level. And recall over and over again.
Recall.
Yeah. They are persistent. They get things done. They are not going to leave a job undone.
Yeah.
They're going to finish it all the way.
Yeah. Yep.
With that comes obstacles, right? They can be moody, critical. They can be insecure. They can be slow to start. They can be very hard to please in some of those relationships because you don't feel like you can ever please them because you can't ever.
You're only as good as your last answer to their question.
Their standard is so high and they don't even think the standard's high enough. Now, with that, they can be slow to start. They can overanalyze. They can be rigid and almost have analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
They can see all the parts of the puzzle and don't know which piece to do first because there's so many options of where do I start.
Yeah.
And because I don't know the perfect step, I take no steps.
Yeah. One experience I've had with C's is that they have a tendency to not want to take a leadership role because they feel like their whole lives they've been the person challenging data or challenging facts. And they develop a self-image that's like, people don't like me because I'm always the one saying, hey,
everything.
This doesn't make sense. The wet blanket. But really, they're actually great leaders, great influencers because they are so accurate.
And if you don't have a C on your leadership team, you are going to make decisions without information.
Yeah.
And you're going to overstep when you shouldn't have overstepped.
Yeah.
And so C's also need to understand that your job is to bring information, not always make the decision.
Yeah.
And C's think if I have all the information, I should be the only one making the decision.
The other thing that'll happen is D's and I's and S's will, if they have a trust and they have close relationships and communication with a C, they'll send their stuff to them to double check their stuff.
Yeah.
Their accuracy. even they're like your AI before AI.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, hey man, will you look at this and see if it's accurate? Am I saying it the right way? Am I missing something? I've used what Rick say. Surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Absolutely.
Surround yourself with some C's and you'll get.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you'll do.
When you look at this, let's talk about how, just real quickly, on how do you communicate with each person. For the D, if you have a boss that's a D, you have a spouse that's a D, you're going to maybe you oversee someone who's a D, you need to go with 1, 2, 3. Don't get bogged down in the weeds. Give them 1, 2, 3, and let's move on. If you come in there with 17 items on your agenda, they're going to go, what do you want? Give them 1, 2, 3, let them talk through those, come back and schedule another meeting.
Yes.
They want to stay at high level. They don't want to get in the weeds because they want to be able to move fast. If you're talking with an I, if you are meeting with an I, you need to double your planning time because they're going to take the first half the meeting and just tell you stories. Yeah. So I've got a business that I work with, and this business owner, we meet for an hour every week. But I know the first 15, 18, 20 minutes, he's going to tell me stories about his neighbor's dog, his kid who did some crazy thing, and then grandma, and then the neighbor, and
yes,
he's going to spend 20 minutes just talking stories. And then we're going to go, okay, let's get into business. However, if I start with business, we never get to business.
Yeah.
The eyes need that.
And a self-aware eye will realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because they'll watch people's eyes roll back in their head or start shuffling on.
All right, let's move on. What do we got next?
You're like, man, I'm way too in this thing. I got to get to the point.
When I meet with an I, part of leadership and influence is knowing who that person is and speaking their language. All right, so the S. For the S, you've got to make everything softer. It cannot come across as confrontational. You have to ask more leading questions that give them an opportunity to have an out.
Yeah.
If you pin an S in the corner, they're going to just cower down and they're going to feel like you are hitting them with a 10-pound hammer. Yeah. And so the way I say this is I have 3 daughters. That's why I'm bald and broke. Okay. My oldest is an I. She will come in after I'm already asleep and tell me a story. And I'm going, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know why we're talking about this. But she wants to tell me a story about life and about relationships and about emotions. My middle daughter's a D. And I can look at her and go, hey, girl, what the crap?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, let me tell you why I'm right and why you're wrong. And And we have a relationship because I know that's the way she speaks. My youngest daughter's an S. And I can look at her and go, hey, sweetheart, what happened at school today? And you would think I just yelled and screamed at her.
Yeah.
And so I have to speak their language.
Yeah.
So for the C, if you're playing with a C, you need a plan. They're going to ask 12 more questions. You're going to tell them 2 things, and they're going to ask 12 more questions.
Yeah.
How? When? Why are we doing this? What does this look like? When does it have to be done? What other details do I not know? Tell me about this. They need more information to make a decision.
And you get to give them more time to get through those questions. If you take all that time up talking about your last event or
right.
experience or whatever, you just if you use 3/4 of the time up talking about that stuff, then they don't have time to get through what they really want to talk about when they're visiting with you.
So we talk about the top 2. D's and I's like to go fast. S and C's move slower. The left side, D's and C's are about task. I's and S's are about people.
Yeah.
And so we need to remember that there's a starting point of how they see every conversation. Is it about people or is it about the task? And if you're a DC, you need to understand no task get done without people. That's what this whole thing is about. The whole Forge is about, this is about people and investing in people, not just investing in the next product.
Yeah. So to sum up what I would say about DISC and why it's so important is that for me as an SI, it teaches me how to communicate and connect with the people around me by knowing their profile.
Yeah.
And I can, if I'll pay attention and I'll be aware of who they are, then I go into the meeting prepared for that, and I know and I can also read the room if I know there's some environments and some situations where you need to be more, get to the point.
Sure.
There's going to be other times when you can visit a little bit and ask about things and ask about their wives and their kids. And so anyway, just a little personal reflection.
I would tell you, even if you're meeting with a D or C that is more task-oriented, take 12 seconds and ask, hey, how's your family? How are you doing? And play off that and figure out, do I need to ask a follow-up question or is it just time to move to business?
Yeah. D and C's, how many people ask them, is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah.
Nobody asks them that because they know they're going to say no.
Sure.
That's one reason why they don't ask them. But the other reason is they don't think about to ask them that. But you know what? That's a pretty insightful thing to ask a D or a C because they're like, no, I don't need help. But man, thank you for asking. You're acknowledging what the burden that they carry as being a D and a C.
They need a lot more encouragement. They need more encouragement. D's and C's don't necessarily need encouragement, but they value it. They have a higher value for it because they don't need it. And I would just tell you this. Listen, no one is ever over-encouraged. I want to say that again. No one is ever over-encouraged. So don't think if I encourage this person too much, they're going to actually work less. It's not how it works. No. Speak love, speak truth into them, and be able to encourage them and understand that these unique things is how God's wired them.
Yeah.
And this is God's design for them. So speak their language.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us this week on The Forge. We hope this has been helpful. We have the notes on there. Make sure you go back and look at those. We'll have some notes down in the comments. Tell us this. Tell us, how does this change conversations that you need to have in the future? Maybe it's with a spouse, maybe it's with a boss, maybe it's with a coworker. But what's one thing you need to change in your conversations? Hey, have a great week. We'll see you next time.